Justin Jefferson has been put on injury reserve because in the Vikings lost to the Chiefs this past Sunday, he suffered a hamstring injury, which is going to sideline him for the Vikings' next four matchups. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse for Minnesota, you lose the best player on your football team, N.J. Jettis. And he was on pace to have one of the best seasons that we've ever seen out of a wide receiver since Randy Moss went crazy with the New England Patriots back in '08. When you think about the significance of this injury, right? Obviously, Kirk Cousins, he's been playing at a pretty high level this season, but he's going to be without his number one target. And not having Justin Jefferson puts a little bit more on the table when it comes to Kirk Cousins having to do a little bit more, because life is easy when anytime you get in a tough situation and you can just say, F it, Jay Jettis is down there. Now you're going to have to find other ways to effectively move the football. Now, even though losing Justin Jefferson is going to be a major loss for this offense, they got a lot of playmakers who I think are good enough to make up for this loss. You got rookie wideout Jordan Addison, who's had a fantastic rookie season. You got TJ Hawkinson, one of the best tight ends in the game. KJ Osborne is pretty solid as well. I think that the Minnesota Vikings offense, with Kevin O'Connell and Kirk Cousins and company, they should be able to still have this passing attack operating at a fairly efficient level. Now, are any of those wide receivers that I just mentioned as good as Jay Jettis? Absolutely not. Like I said earlier, he was on pace to have a historical season. But with this injury, you're going to have to find ways to win games without him. And you're 1-4. And your next couple of games, I feel, are pretty winnable. On the road against Chicago, yeah, you got to play the 49ers. You may lose that game. But then you got the Packers and the Falcons. So despite the fact that you're losing your star player, you're entering a pretty favorable stretch of your schedule. All right, I don't think you need Jay Jettis to beat the Chicago Bears. Their secondary has been dog water, all right? And then the 49ers, we know they got a great defense. But even with Justin Jefferson, I don't really think Minnesota was going to have a chance to win that game anyway. But the Packers, Falcons, these are games that you should be able to win in absence of Justin Jefferson. So I don't think that this injury completely derails the Minnesota Vikings season, because let's face it, even if he was still healthy, their season was still on the rails anyway. And it looks like, depending on how their next couple of weeks goes, it may not even matter when Justin Jefferson comes back, because this team may just be in tank mode. There's some rumors going around that Kirk Cousins may get traded. Maybe he goes to the Jets. Maybe he gets traded to another team that needs a quarterback. So there's no telling who's going to be the starting quarterback when Jay Jettis gets fully healthy from his hamstring injury. But regardless of the fact, Justin Jefferson, he's going to be missing the next 4 games of the season due to a hamstring injury. They have put him on IR. He potentially may end up healing from this injury a lot faster than expected, maybe, but the Vikings aren't trying to put anything up the chance. They don't really want to risk further injuring him, having him come back faster than what he needs to when the season kind of already is starting to look like a lost cause. I mean, why would you try to rush back Justin Jefferson if you're 1-6, 1-7? The season pretty much is all but over at that point. So I think for the Minnesota Vikings, them taking a cautious approach with Justin Jefferson's hamstring injury is the right thing to do. And I do think that they got a good enough talent to be able to make up for this loss. Now, once again, I'm going to reiterate this for the last time. I'm not saying that any of the guys that they have currently at wide receiver are going to be able to be as good as Justin Jefferson. But what I am saying is, as a collective unit, when you look at everything that they have right now, they should be able to still have efficiency throwing the football even without Justin Jefferson not being there. You got way too much talent at wideout with KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson at tight end for this offense to completely fall apart without Justin Jefferson.